today we are working on this poor guy right here. This is a new 3DS XL. It is having some issues. So the bottom screen is completely destroyed. Let's see if this even turns on. The bottom screen's destroyed. You can see right here, it still comes on. It'll still boot up. There it goes. It's just this crack right here on the right screen, which we'll replace. But the L and R button have also stopped working. So we're going to take this thing apart. Unfortunately, it is held on by tape. A kid decided to take it apart. So I'm hoping the L and R is just not connected properly, since both of them don't work. But I won't know until I get into it. This thing's held on by hopes and dreams. It's been definitely worn and loved. So we're going to see if we can keep it alive today by hopefully taking it apart and making it work. Right. So let's go ahead and start taking it apart. Some of these screws seemed a little stripped. Definitely was not using the right screwdriver, but luckily so far most of them are coming out nicely. Oh, these things are close to being done, man. Alright. Oh no, here we go. Alright. Of course, there's one that's always stripped. I'm going to try to get a flathead in there. Get enough pressure to hopefully start turning it. Dang. There's always got to be one. Okay, we've gotten this one out. This one's not going to go back in because it's stripped. Let's take her apart. So hopefully when we take it apart, we see the L and R aren't quite inserted properly. Let's see. Oh, well, yeah, you could say that. The L button, R, RZ have completely been torn off. So that needs to be replaced. So we'll have to let them know on that. Usually though, I thought you could still get the R button should still work properly. Huh. We'll have to look into it. Hopefully they didn't damage the connector at all. Yeah, but that thing's completely gone. Okay. Well, we're going to continue working our way down. I don't see any damage on the port itself. I'll have to see if I have an extra connector. I do have some parts back in the day when I was flipping these things. I was fixing top screens and flipping them on eBay, paying $100 for them, flipping them for like $350. Especially the new XLs when they were coming out. Top screens aren't as fun, but we are actually just doing a bottom screen, so it shouldn't be too bad. Just gonna start taking everything off, unplugging all the ribbon cables. There's a few ribbon cables on here. The worst one is these ones over here. Some of these just pull out. Gotta be careful. gentle. All right. Do. All right. Put my flathead that saved the day to get that screw out of here. So yeah, get the right screwdriver, please. If you don't have the right screwdriver, then come in. We can let you. We can help you. We love and encourage people to repair their own stuff. That's why we do these videos, honestly. As much as we do them ourselves, we want to teach and to learn as much as we can when it comes to repairs. So we encourage repair your own work to extent. Sometimes it's not worth it for you to repair, or even sometimes it's not worth it for us to repair. Just depends on what console it is. Last two motherboard screwdriver screws, and one more. It's been a while since I've taken one of these apart, honestly. So I'm gonna see if I can take this without moving that. I don't want to mess with these connections as much as possible. They're the finicky ones. So next I got to get to the actual screen, and it's actually stuck behind the cartridge slot, so we're going to take that off really quick. I don't want to get this screw mixed up with my other screws. That's the bad screw. There we go. All right, next, get this plastic like shroud. There we go. We got our new screen right here. Try not to touch it as much as I possibly can. See if I can just pry it up. There you go. Just get a corner. And popping off some of that adhesive. There we go. Pop. Try to clean that as much as I can. Get the new screen in here. Does it come with a digitizer? No. Okay. I guess this did come with a digitizer as well. No, it didn't. There's like this shroud, this black shroud that's on this one where it's no. I'm trying to figure out what I want to take off. Okay, this does not have the digitizer on it, so I'm just going to take this plastic shroud off of this one. I don't need, this one doesn't have the digitizer, but it still has the like outside portion of it, so we don't need it. Go. Trying to keep it as clean as possible. Probably one of the hardest things to do when doing replacement screens. Alright, new screens in. Put the, was it amiibo attached thingy back on. Clip. Clip. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. All right, old screen. Let's put the motherboard back. Let's put this motherboard back really quick. Always go back from where we started. Last thing we took off. And then after I put the motherboard back on, I'm gonna see if I have another L and R button, or at least I think it's the R button for sure. Hopefully I can reseat the other button and it has no issues. Okay. Ribbon cable time. Just be gentle with the ribbon cables. Okay. Let's put them all back together. I'll have to bend my tweezers back. Looks like they got bent out of shape a bit. I don't like that. I like my tweezers to be straight. Gently insert all ribbon cables, especially these ones. This is the digitizer for the backlight. I think this is the backlight actually. This one is the worst. I don't know how many times I've broken the tab. I've had to replace the whole ribbon cable because it's just a soft kind of cheap ribbon cable. Bam. Next, the buttons. Just be gentle so we don't bend any pins, we don't break any ribbon cables. Just take your time. You're not in a hurry. You don't need to be fast. But if you don't know what you're doing, I would recommend watching a video. Maybe this one. Or a different one. Someone else's. Someone that has better camera angles? I don't know. All right. Next. Boop. I'm gonna line this up as best we can and make sure we line it up good. I usually get an angle from the sides and then snap. Okay. Next, let's put all the screws in that go onto the motherboard. Actually, I really don't want to do that because just in case the motherboard or maybe the screen doesn't work, I'll put one screw in just so it holds itself. Maybe two, because I want to test the screen before I do anything else. So I'm going to put the stick back in really quick. Gentle clips, gentle clips. The best way that I figured out how to do these is you line up the hole with the stick. Try to line it up as best as you can, and then kind of like seat it in there. This last ribbon cable clip. Okay, put the screws for the stick in just so it doesn't fall out while I'm trying to test it. And let's see. Hopefully we didn't get a bonked bottom screen. Line up the power, line up the battery, press the on button. What we want to see is that crack being gone. Oh, don't do this to me. Let's try it again. Hold the battery in place. All right. Great. All right. Do you have to have the SD card installed? I don't remember having to have the SD card installed to turn it on. Great. All right. So usually that indicates one of these ribbon cables over here, the ones I didn't want to mess with, aren't inserted properly. Just checking all the ribbon cables, make sure they're inserted all the way. Yeah, I know you don't have a whole bunch of power. I just need you to turn on. Oh, there it goes. Guess I didn't insert one of the tops. There it is. No more crack. No more crack. Touchscreen. All right, we'll clean it up. The touchscreen was working. So let's go ahead and finish this portion of this repair. It's not a horrible repair. The bottom screens are easier. The top screens, not so easy. And the only reason is because of these, the way that it's designed. Over here is a cluster. I'm not saying they're not doable. I'm just saying it's not easy. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this button first and then this button. I'm going to try to connect this really quick, see if I can get it to work. They can be kind of tricky. The best way I figured out is you just grab them, you line them up similar to the cartridge slot, and you want to hear it pop. All right, that one's in. The other one's broken, so we're not even going to try. So I'm just gonna gently put it back together enough to turn it on. Let's see if we can get that button to work. And while we're at it, we'll try to clean it up. There's not much I can do about the back, unless they replace it. So let's try the L button. Yeah, both of these might be damaged. Okay, let me check my parts bin, because I don't know if I have new ones. We may have to order them. We were hoping maybe the kid who took it apart, talking to you, just popped them off, but he might have damaged them more than we thought. I don't see much ribbon cable damage. Again, I don't see any port damage. Okay, let me see if I have another back. All right, dug through our parts bin. I actually have another 3DS in there. I don't even know what's wrong with it, but we have one for parts. This one, these look good. So what I'm gonna do is just test it to make sure that our theory is correct and it is the ribbon cables. So I'm gonna reconnect them and see if they work now. Hopefully they do. That'd be great. Then we know it's just the ribbon cables. Start from the bottom and then work up when you're putting these back on. Okay, let's see. What I'm looking for is when it boots up, I hit the L and R, and it works. There they are, right here, and then the LZ and RZ move the amp. So we know these. There's no problem with the motherboard, which is good. These need to be replaced on here for sure. Which we didn't quote for parts in the repair because I wasn't sure if maybe they were disconnected or anything like that. So we're going to let the customer know that we will have to replace the L and R buttons, which we have parts for so we can get it done faster. I usually just have a nail and then I just lift it and then they pop right off. So we have parts for them so we can replace them right now, but we still have to charge for the parts. So that's it. That's it. We've officially fixed this. I can't finish it right now, but because we got to call the customer and get a quote for this parts. So we'll have to wait. I don't want to wait. I honestly do not like waiting. This is the dilemma. Here's interesting. If you're doing repairs, this is the thing. The thing is, do you fix it now? Which I tend to do without knowing if they want to repair it or they want to spend the extra cash, or do you fix it later? I tend to fix it now because most people don't say no, especially when it comes to things they need to get fixed. And we're not trying to scam anyone here. That ribbon cable is completely broken, and the L button is not working. So we 100% know that we have to replace the parts. I like to get it done now. And then what we normally would do is just order the parts. And then if someone else has the same issue, we got the same parts. And then we just have the parts on hand, at least one, maybe two sets. And then we can fix those things faster, still charge them, and order more. So it's constantly being refreshed, and we constantly have stuff in stock. Because unless a 4-parts unit comes in, or it definitely doesn't work, we normally don't have the extra parts and pieces lying around unless we have those 4-parts pieces. Now, I only have, well, technically 2 4-parts because I used to fix them. So, yeah, I'm gonna do the repair. So how about you guys come along and watch it? All right, so now since we're going to do the repair, I'm going to do it. We're going to have to take out these, replace these with these, and not screw them up. So we know these are not good. What's wrong with them? I don't know. If this is any indication of what happened, they might have been torn. Maybe some of the connectors on this ribbing cable's destroyed. I don't see any damaged connectors. Ribbon cable looks like it's still in place. I don't know, but we know it's not working, so I'm just gonna take them off. There's 2 screws on each one. You don't have to replace the pink holder. It's just easier to get to them if you remove the holder. Try to be careful, because these 2 washers that are in here and these springs for these buttons can disappear. Okay. Let's see if I can do this and just take the whole unit out. The holder and the ribbon cable at the same time and make my life a little bit easier. Trying to not damage anything in the process. I didn't take the holder, it's okay. We're gonna, I don't know if I'm in frame, sorry. Oh, no, we're good, okay. I'll line up the buttons again. Okay, you want to be a pain, huh? Why are you being a pain? It's your new home button. Just go to your new home. I don't want to damage you. There we go. No. No. Get back in there. Oh. Oh. Stupid button. Alright. Alright. Let's put this. Whoa. Whoa. So you gotta be careful. That spring definitely just shot at me, and that's why you got to be very careful with the springs. In general, anything with springs, just assume it's going to fly off. So be cautious of that. Jeez, I might have. Come on. There we go. Try to insert the spring this way first, hold it with a finger, and then put it in. Okay, you're back in. Let's try this again. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe this is supposed to go on this and like this. Wait. Like this? That doesn't seem right. Like this. Okay. And that's why it wasn't seating properly. Okay, there we go. So the small ZL and ZR fit on top. The other ones fit underneath. So if you could take them all in one shot, just put the 2 screws back in. Do it. Alright, R button's done. Looks like the L button fell off as well. springs. I'm gonna clean this a little bit. Oop. Alright, Mr. Spring, please do not disappear on me. Hold it in. Push it up. Okay. Next, we need to take this one apart. I might just put these screws back in really quick just to hold everything down. Even though there is no ribbon cables in them anymore. This one is this one, actually, that one's this one. Let's go take these two screws out. Let's see if we can just take this thing in one fell swoop. I'll just take the whole assembly. And the button. Please just come out nicely. There we go. Transfer it over. Line it up. Oh no. Is that lined up? Alright, let's put the screws in. Take this ribbon cable out. Put the plastic housing back in and screws just so we don't lose it. So now if someone has like a really bad black back, we can take care of that. Okay, that's for parts. Put that back in the parts bin. Let's go ahead and put the back of this guy back in. Try to clean it up a bit. We'll clean it up a little bit better. Turn it around. Insert the tabs. Alright, bottom first, top next. Line everything up. There you go. Plop, plop, plop. Okay. I'm gonna do a no-no anyways. Actually, I'm not. Let's not do that. From my experience, when you do a no-no and put it all back together, you have to take it apart. So we're just going to turn it on. Test the R and L and what happened? Huh? What's going on? Uh-oh. Don't want that to get damaged. Lay flat. We good? Oh, come on. You not have enough power to turn on now? Okay, let me plug it in. I got it plugged in. Whew, alright. Great. Let's see what else is going on. Easy. I'm just going to pop these two off because it's the only thing I did and see if I can turn it on. Power. Nope, it's doing the same thing. Alright, I'm going to have to take everything apart and check these ribbon cables to see if it is seated properly. I didn't touch them though. Oh, maybe that wasn't plugged in all the way. Maybe that ribbon cable wasn't in all the way. Okay. Let's try that now. I think this ribbon cable wasn't pushed all the way in. Alright. Plop. I don't like it when things work and then don't work and then work and then don't work and then work. It's harder for me to diagnose what is going on. Be careful of the ribbon cable. You don't want to damage it. Just lay it flat. There we go. Let's try this again. Power. There it goes. All right. Come on, L and R. R, L, Z, R, Z, L. Look at that. We're working again. Yay. Let's see if the camera's working. Camera's working. There it goes. Say hi. Let's see if we can. We're good to go. Inner camera. There it is. Say hi, YouTube. And there you are. You're recording. All right. I'm going to quit. I'm going to put the back back on and all the screws. And we are going to call it. We'll test it one more time, make sure all the buttons and everything are working before we give it back to the customer, of course. Still got to call them regarding the L and Z or L and R button. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do too much with this case back. These things break all the time, which sucks. And I'm going to be leaving that screw out as much as I want to. Actually, I may have an extra screw. See if I got an extra screw in my 3DS case really quick. What I wasn't going to do is, I was just not going to put one of these in here. There we go. Alright, let me see if I have an extra screw really quick. I have a whole baggie of extra screws. So I'll just take one of these really quick. Nope. Nope, I want that one. Give me that screw right there. Come on. Really? Okay. Guess I'll take everything. I just want a long screw. There we go. Put the other ones back. I don't, it's funny because this case back here, this down here, I think I have a 3DS that has all the parts and pieces. It just needs a top screen, and I have the top screen. And here's the motherboard. There's the motherboard and the button connector. I don't think I stole any parts from this thing. I don't see any of the connectors broken. So this may just need a top screen. And I didn't want to do it? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Yeah, because here's the top portion. So it looks like I had most of it apart. So I guess if we really want to, I could do that. I honestly, we can. I just don't like doing top screens anymore. I can. How about this? If you guys want to watch me do a top screen, put it in the comments below. Let me know. Otherwise, you get this. I'm going to clean this up. It's pretty bad. I'm going to get it some loving, some cleaning loving. Try to clean this up for this kid as much as I can. Kid's gotta stop eating nacho cheese and Doritos and playing 3DS. That's what he needs to do, but I'm not his parent. My kids don't eat and play games. I even hate it when my kids' tablet's all nasty. They're freaking sitting there chowing down and watching whatever. I hate it. Nasty. And you pick it up and you have to fix something, and it's just like, oh, it feels like you boogied all over the thing. But hey. Okay. This thing's pretty rough, as you know. I don't know how much this is going to stay on. I think, yeah, because of the way, I mean, realistically, you know, I guess I could put the kid's tape back on. And I have to take the kid's tape back off because I didn't put the SD card, and the SD card's not reachable from without removing the back plate. Ooh, I'm going to clean that a bit. It's a little sticky. Put some isopropyl alcohol in there as best as I can. I'm going to insert the SD card in and out. There we go. That's better. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, the front of it looks great. needs a little work, but open the screen, my man. Come on. Let's get it a bath. It needs a bath. Okay. We go get our test game really quick and just do the final test and make sure everything is working properly. Alright, I got a copy of Mario 64 for the DS. It's our test game. Cool. Screen's not cracked anymore. L and R are still working. Volume's still working. The 3D needs to be cleaned. Ugh. There we go. Now the 3D volume, 3D bar, that's still working. I'm going to clean the volume bar as well. That one doesn't get nearly as stuck. Most of the time we just leave it off, so it just gets gunk and stuff. So keep the volume. The stick isn't drifting and it's working. The pad is working. The Y button is working. So we need to press A, B, and X. The little knob is working. The home button is working. B is working, A is working. The only one I can't do is X. X is working. So actually all the buttons are working now. You can press start. Can you? Alright. So we just tested all the buttons in the settings. Looks like the top has some... What has been worked on before? Because it's hard to get stuff on the... Start works. Select works. Touchpad is working. A, B, X, R, and then there you go. All right, back home. Home button's working. Clean up the mic a little bit. There it goes. I don't remember if there's a mic test or something inside the settings. Mic test, there it is. Testing mic. Yep, mic's working. Oh, no, is there a test 3D check? Yep. Outer camera, circle pads, system outer camera. Is there a button? Circle pad? Yeah, you could test the circle pad. That's cool. But can you test the buttons? No. Outer camera, super sound, profile date, touchscreen. Gotta turn off the 3D. It's flickering. Alright, complete. Touchscreen has been recalibrated. I could use the there it goes. All right, so the touch bottom screen and the touch screen or the touchpad was already, but yeah, you guys got to put button testing like the Switch. It's great. Everything else is good. Close, and we're done. There it is. Take my game out. Cartridge slot's working. And this beautiful-ish Galaxy 3DS XL now is in working condition. Everything has been tested, and it's good to go back to the customer and to enjoy for hopefully another bajillion years. I hope this thing lasts forever.